Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Dubs. This is Dubs Nation. Please subscribe. Trying to grow the channel, but far more importantly, what I care about and why I share my videos is to get the message out. The left barrages everybody with their false narrative, and I believe the only way for us to fight that is to share our message, whether it's this video or videos from Dr. Carolyn Boryashenko, Tim Pool, Adam Krigler, Hodge Twins, Dan Bongino, Tucker Carlson, Ben Shapiro, you know them all. That's why I share the videos. I want everybody to share and flood the airwaves and the internet with our content. We got to win over as many people as possible because this is getting out of hand. It's been out of hand. I did a video just the other day chronicling the violence of the left and how it is completely devolved into just constant riots now. Meanwhile, the left gaslights everybody and tells us that it's Trump supporters and the right that are violent ones, and everybody out in the streets right now are peaceful protesters, and the violence that is occurring is they're not a part of the protest, and the violence is justified because of the vast racial inequalities and the hunting of black men by police officers and Trump supporters and white people. And even though, you know, people like Jussie Smollett had to literally fake his own hate crime because he couldn't happen to come across a Trump supporter that was going to attack him, even though they're supposedly all over the place. So I did that video, and literally the next day we woke up to this. Right-wing protester killed in Portland after Democrat mayor refused federal help. Antifa celebrates. Some guy that was a Trump supporter, right-wing protester, just a thin blue line shirt hat on, got killed in cold blood. He got murdered in cold blood. And I don't know about you guys, but I have had it. I have had it with this shit. Let's take a look real quick if you guys haven't already seen it. An apparent right-wing protester was shot to death on Saturday night in Portland after the city's Democrat mayor refused federal assistance from Trump's administration to help maintain peace in the city, which has seen nearly 100 days of violent riots back to May. 100 days. I don't want to hear this stupid shit from any moron on social media. This is Trump's America. This is his administration. We have a federal system, okay? Idiots. The state and local governments control the National Guard, and they control the state police and the local police departments. Those police departments want to do their job. They're trying to do their job. They're being hamstrung. And if they do need extra help, National Guard can be called in. It takes just a second. Trump has consistently said he's ready to send them in. But these assholes on the left are refusing, and people are still dying. Video of the attack was posted online showing the shooting. According to two journalists, appeared to show someone saying, "We got a Trumper right here," before two fatal shots were fired at the victim. In case you guys haven't seen it, this is the footage. Now, like I've always said, I believe the best thing to do in all of these incidents, police shootings of civilians, is to just wait and allow the investigators to bring out all the facts to make our determination. But when you have these pigs from Antifa celebrating afterwards about that very attack, that kind of tells you everything you need to know. Here we are. With Antifa celebrating.
Y'all are not angry, you're not paying attention. If y'all are not angry, you're not with me. Everybody needs to realize what's going on in these streets. Our community can hold it down without the police. We can take out the trash on our own. I am not sad that a fucking fascist died tonight.
She said she's not sad that a fascist died tonight. And it continued on from there. These people are not reachable. Okay? I hear the liberals that are in denial, not so much the far left psychotic leftists, but the liberals that are not reachable, that they just hate Trump because he made a mean tweet once saying, no, the way is to, you have to communicate with these people and sit down and work things out. Hey, you assholes, they don't want to talk. Are you kidding? The Republican Senate already put forth a police reform bill. Democrats wouldn't even allow it to give it a vote. Not to mention, the bill had 21 amendments, meaning that it could have been compromised and changed and added to 21 different times. Democrats didn't even allow it. They filibustered the damn thing to death, and it died. They don't want change. They want anarchy. They want destruction. That wasn't the only thing. That was not the only thing that's happening. This was the alleged murderer. This guy says, I'm 100% Antifa all the way. Keep that in mind. We're going to get into that in just a minute. Suspect in the murder of the Trump supporter streets in Portland last night posted, I'm 100% Antifa on his personal Instagram page. A member of the Patriot Prayer Group, which was involved in a counter-protest against Black Lives Matter and Antifa last night, was gunned down at 8:45. So it took place at 8:45. The man is heard yelling at camera, we've got a Trumper here. We got him right here. Not the only thing that happened, though, was it? Shots may have been fired at Los Angeles pro-Trump caravan in Los Angeles. Late Sunday morning, officers from the LAPD were called to Woodland Hills as they responded to a report of shots being fired at a pro-Trump caravan. This is the local media coverage, just showing the video of SWAT. A woman driving past the caravan on Ventura Boulevard says she heard what sounded like gunshots at 11:30 a.m. and then noticed her tire went flat after being damaged by a projectile, possibly a bullet, the Los Angeles Police Department said, adding that someone else informed police that a suspect was in a nearby apartment building on Ventura Boulevard. LAPD stated that the suspects were still barricaded at the location as of 3:30 p.m. and SWAT team was summoned. Okay? Officer Will Cooper of the LAPD said officials received a report that a man was firing at a caravan as it traveled along Ventura Boulevard. The incident was initially described as someone brandishing a firearm and throwing bottles at the vehicles, but later updated to include a report of shots fired. Jorge Rodriguez, deputy chief of the LAPD, told the Times that the LAPD got a photo of a man with a rifle on the balcony of an apartment unit. The alleged shooter and two others barricaded themselves inside the property on Ventura Boulevard. This is happening all over, and it's not an isolated incident. It just so happens this took place in Los Angeles, where they decided to cut $150 million from the LAPD budget at the behest of Black Lives Matter, this Marxist dirtbag organization. What was the last one? Portland. The others? Seattle. Just wait, New York's probably next. Every place that decides to just reroute funding from the police department just so happens. But like I said before, these people are not reachable anymore. They truly live in an alternate reality, not our reality, not the reality. There is no objective reality to them anymore. It's the reality that they have created in their mind. And we'll also get to that and why. Take a look. This is just a page from the local reporter that was tweeting out the footage of SWAT. This guy, BLM, right here. Meanwhile, just a few days ago, a 17-year-old was able to cross state lines twice with an illegal weapon after actually killing 2 people. What the hell does that have to do with this psychopath shooting at cars driving down Ventura Boulevard? That's the first question. Second question is, literally everything you just said is a goddamn lie. Straight up lie. Where did you get that from? Was able to cross state lines twice? What? He lived 15 minutes away. Just so happened that the town and city of Kenosha are right on the border of Illinois and Wisconsin. So give it a fucking rest with this stupid cross 2 state lines. Not to mention, we went over this in my last video. There's significant video evidence showing Rittenhouse was being attacked first by people with weapons, people with Molotov cocktails. They were shooting at him first, and he returned fire. Then he ran from them, ran from the attackers, and they continued to pursue him with a weapon. Got to him, started beating on him, one of them with a handgun clearly in his hand, and then he returned fire again as they closed in on him while he was on the ground, hitting him with a skateboard, stomping on him, clearly the guy with the pistol pointing it at him. That's called self-defense, you jackass. Let's take a look. What else do these pigs have to say? They have no place parading down Ventura Boulevard. What? Why? No, really, why? They can't drive down a public street anymore? This is a free country. You people think it's okay to block the street. You think you can go wherever the hell you want. Here's another one. Trump's America. Trump's America? I'm old enough to remember riots taking place under the Obama administration. The same, if not worse. Okay? All in Democrat cities, by the way. And all because of shootings that were later found to be justified by the Obama DOJ. So like I said before, Twitter is the absolute cesspool of all cesspools. Social media is in general a cesspool, but Twitter is somehow became the largest congregation of absolute losers on the face of the planet. Let's keep going, guys. There's another one that happened just overnight. Extremism at Kenosha Justice for Jacob rally. If you kill one of ours, it's time to kill one of yours. Let's go straight to the horse's mouth for this one.
It's worth something. His life is worth something. And I got to say, God damn it, if you kill one of ours, it's time for us to kill one of yours. I know everybody don't want to hear that. keep burying ours. And got to keep pleading for you to see us as being human. We ain't never did nothing to nobody. The black man, woman, and child is the most forgiving people on this planet. I'll be damned if we got to keep telling you that we don't deserve this. You know we don't deserve it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, okay? I am sorry if I can't fucking buy that. Somebody that has a knife, was just committed sexual assault, somebody that just committed domestic abuse, physically fought with the cops, they tried to tase him twice, they gave him multiple verbal commands to stop, and had a knife, deserves to be shot. I'm sorry. You made the wrong decision. That is why this is happening. That is why it keeps happening. You tackle cops, you fight with them, you steal their taser, you try to shoot them in the damn face with the taser, you're going to get shot. Justifiably so. Listen, not in every incident. Each incident is unique. Okay? But in many of these incidents you're referring to, they did get what they were asking for there. If you were trying to kill a police officer or cause seriously bodily harm to a police officer, they don't have to take it. They can defend themselves. And if it's the person trying to kill them or them, they are allowed for it to be the bad guy. I don't know who raised you people. I don't know who raised that guy right there. But this is not abstract thinking. Here we go. BLM activist, I'm ready to put these police in the effing ground. Burn the White House down. A far-left alleged Black Lives Matter leader advocating for killing law enforcement officials during Black Lives Matter event in Washington, D.C. on Saturday night, saying that he was ready to put them in the ground and he wanted to go after elected officials in the federal government. I'm at the point where I'm ready to put these police in the effing grave, the man said. According to the video that was posted online from the event, I'm at the point where I want to burn the White House down. I want to take it to the senators. I want to take it to the Congress. I want to take the fight to them. Oh, you thought this was the same as the last one? No. This one's different.
I'm at the point where I'm ready to put these police in the fucking grave. I'm at the point where I want to burn the fucking White House down. I want to take it to the senators. I want to take it to the Congress. I want to take the fight to them. And at the end of the day, if they ain't gonna hear us, we burn them the fuck down. I'm one that talk real shit. I talk it in New York, and I talk it in D.C. The same way I fuck police up in New York, I fuck cops up here in D.C. The same way I bust police in the head in New York, I bust police in the head in D.C. Now, it's a lot of people, and I'm gonna be honest, it's a lot of people that's on this front line. And one of the things that I always say, don't get on this fucking front line if you ain't gonna fucking fight. Don't get on this front line if you ain't gonna take no hit. Don't get on this front line when the police fucking push up, you push back. If you're gonna be on this front line and them racist ass, nasty ass, punk ass fucking police is pushing up, you push the fuck up.
Why is this happening to them? Why? Why would somebody like that, how could they possibly just comprehend that they could maybe be killed by a cop? Let me tell you something. First of all, I know a lot of NYPD. You ain't bashing none of their heads in. They make quick work of your ass, man. A lot of them are. Do yourself a favor, bro. Keep it to talking, because you try doing that, you're going to get wrecked. Pig. By the way, just a little side note. Notice how all these videos, Twitter, YouTube, Twitter, not a problem, right? Not a problem. All calling for violence, all calling for, terrible things. It's violence against police, violence against people for no reason at all. Just one example. I'm sure everybody knows Mark Dice. He's another good guy, another good podcaster, whatever you want to call him, comedian. Twitter has locked me out of my account for posting a meme making fun of Kamala Harris. They said it was bullying her. I can't post it here, or Facebook will suspend me too. I posted it on Parler account, though, if you want a good laugh. Yeah. They got no problem censoring this fucking guy because he made fun of Kamala Harris, but they'll leave that shit on Twitter. They'll leave Antifa bragging about killing somebody in cold blood on Twitter. They'll let Antifa organize on Twitter, but they'll censor President Trump within 30 seconds of posting something about mail-in ballots, which was true. Let me tell you something. Republicans, if you by any chance, with the grace of God, win this next election and retake the House, the Senate, and the presidency, there better not be a day that goes by where you sit on your asses and do nothing. You better start holding these social media outlets accountable. And I mean, you got a long list of stuff that's got to get done. Obviously, you got to win. But if you win, I don't want to see any more sitting around, or there's going to be a big problem. All right, guys. So, like I said before, the narrative that the left is pushing is that this is Trump's America. This is Trump's fault. This is his administration, and he's the reason why this is all happening, even though it was happening under President Obama. Let's be clear. Democrat Ted Wheeler blames Trump for Portland violence after right-wing protester is killed. He rejected Trump's National Guard offer last week. He's been rejecting it for months. He rejected, Seattle rejected it too. Let's see. Let's go to his quote real quick and we'll wrap it up. Do you seriously wonder, Mr. President, why this is the first time in decades that America has seen this level of violence? Bullshit. It's you who have created the hate and division, Wheeler claimed. It's you who have not found a way to say the names of black people killed by police officers, even as law enforcement have. And it's you who claim that white supremacists are good people. Okay, so basically literally every word there is a complete lie. They put it here, right here. Wheeler's claims were mostly false, as a study from Pew Research Center found that the political polarization in the U.S. started during the Obama administration. We didn't need the Pew Research Center to tell us that. The president has repeatedly tweeted about George Floyd, and the president never called white supremacists good people. In fact, the president has repeatedly condemned white supremacists, and they link examples there. Everybody knows that debunked myth. He did not call the white supremacists good people. Flat out. Another reason, what has got these left-wing and liberals so entrenched in their falsehoods, and so entrenched in that fake reality that they live in? Could it have anything to do with their beloved icon, Michelle Obama, saying shit like this? Michelle Obama said, "Whites don't acknowledge non-whites exist, or they see them as a threat." Speaking at her eponymous podcast on an episode titled "The Gift of Girlfriends," the former First Lady Michelle Obama stated that white people either don't acknowledge black people exist or they see them as a threat. Prior to those comments, Obama and her guests included Danielle Pemberton Hurd, the CEO of STEM Connector, briefly discussed the incident in Central Park in Manhattan last May, in which a white woman named Amy Cooper, walking her dog, who was obviously a safe space liberal, walking her dog, wound up calling the cops on a black man, Christian Cooper, who was birdwatching, an incident which was explained. Okay, you guys all remember that with the crazy girl calling the cops. Okay, those were two New York fucking weird people. I know those people like that. You will see them all day, every day in New York. This is the bottom line. The girl was crazy. She didn't have any business behaving like that. And the guy was weird too. He was trying to call her dog over to her with dog treats, saying, "You're not going to like what I'm doing, what I'm going to do to your dog." Weird people. But either way, what does that have to do with it? You're going to tell people that, especially people that look up to you, that white people don't acknowledge non-whites exist? Let me tell you something. My wife is from South America. She's a Latina immigrant. I want to puke on this woman. This disgusts me when people say shit like this. Let's wrap it up with it. Let's start to wrap it up here. After Biden condemns violence in Portland, like I showed in my last video, he took like a minute and a half into his speech to actually condemn the violence. He gave the first half of the speech saying he was so appalled and disgusted about what happened to Jacob Blake, even though now we know he had a knife, among many other details. After Biden condemns violence in Portland, Crenshaw fires, "You're only commenting now because the polling told you to." Obviously. But Biden claims that this is Donald Trump's fault. Biden fails to condemn Antifa, Black Lives Matter, by name for repeated violence. Seems to suggest Trump supporters responsible for death of right-wing protester. Remember when Biden actually tried to claim that Trump didn't condemn the violence? "I condemn violence of every kind," said Biden, whether on the left or the right, and I challenge Donald Trump to do the same. That's not going to work anymore, you damn mummy. That ain't going to work. Everybody knows. It's well documented. Trump has been condemning this and been all over it since day one. It's been the Democrat state and local leaders that have rejected it. Trump even says he will probably visit Kenosha, offering Portland help again. Okay. So Trump has obviously been ready and rearing to go to end this. But after what we've just seen, this is obviously escalated beyond what is acceptable times 10. Okay, so I think it's time that President Trump invokes the Insurrection Act. I want to see the Antifa and Black Lives Matter classified as a domestic terrorist organization. You can't have Black Lives Matter rallies and people speaking at these rallies saying, I want to bash cops in the head. You better be ready to fight. I want to put them in the ground. Multiple. Antifa. You can't, they have to be classified as domestic terrorist organizations, and the federal and the feds, the FBI, the ATF, everybody need to crush them. What else? Anybody, and listen, I don't know if this is something that is actually possible. If anybody living in these states that is allowing these riots, like Wisconsin, Oregon, Washington, and they've been elsewhere too, New York, everybody start demanding, you start telling these douchebag Democrat politicians, hey man, if you don't fulfill your promise to keep us safe, we're not going to pay you these taxes anymore. That's like having the Department of Public Works and the Sanitation Department take your tax money and pay them, and then they just don't pick up your garbage anymore. And you still have to pay those taxes. Or like having to pay your property taxes for teachers, for schools, and then they do remote learning, which we know is a failure. So I don't know if that's something that can be done, but I would get on the phone with a damn lawyer and say, I'm not paying these damn taxes anymore unless you fulfill your duty and keep this place safe. Otherwise, you get what we have now. Now we have people like this kid Kyle Rittenhouse, who should have never even had to be at that riot, but he felt like he had to. And then he was attacked, and then it turned into escalated into a violent, terrible situation. Again, we just had another just normal guy, blue lives t-shirt on, get executed, and Antifa celebrating about it. Enough. That's it. Crush it, or you're going to have people on the streets, regular people, who are going to be ready to do it. So either apply the maximum amount of pressure to the state and local governments, or send in the feds. Guys, thanks for sticking with me on this one. Subscribe, like, share. I'll see you on the next one.